What's up, guys? Well, as you know, yesterday we got the release of the first official trailer for Rob Zombie's The Munsters. Now, I am somebody who has been very critical of Rob Zombie's movies in the past. There is maybe 2 of them that I would give a positive review to. I think that as a director, he has a lot of style, and he does have a good eye for how to shoot things. I really do think that he can be a very capable director. I just feel like his writing is what lets all of his movies down in some way, shape, or form. And yet, with that being said, I have been very optimistic about his version of The Munsters. I know that he has a lot of love for The Munsters and for that era, and it's apparent in all of his movies that he loves the 60s and the 50s and all of that. And so him doing an adaptation of The Munsters and going as far, which was eventually revealed that it's going to be a PG movie, I was fascinated. I was like, this is either going to be the best thing that he's ever done that's going to make a lot of people have a lot more faith in him, or it could be the biggest train wreck of his career. We have no idea. But even though I loved, and I say loved, that initial teaser that he did that recreated the opening of the show, I thought it had a lot of style and had a lot of charm to it, I was not a fan of this trailer. This is not the first time that I'm watching this trailer, but I have been fascinated with this trailer ever since I watched it, as well as everybody else's varying reception to it. I never watch trailer reactions, but I've watched at least 4 to this trailer. And I keep trying to figure out what exactly is off about it for me. I've tried to articulate it, I've tried to watch it a few times and see like what worked in that teaser that doesn't work here. And I have a theory that a lot of it might be the fact that it's in color. I remember when I saw the teaser going, I wonder why they didn't do the whole thing in black and white. And I know financially why the studio didn't do that. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to watch the theatrical trailer, the one that was released to everybody, with you guys, and try to go over some of my thoughts of what I think might be going off here, why it's not working for me and many others. And then we're going to watch a version that I have color-coded to be black and white and see if it's any different. So with that being said, let's go ahead and watch the trailer now. I do like the old school Universal thing. That does set it up in a good throwback tone.
Rob Zombie, the director of House of the
This is where it gets weird. It feels like an old commercial.
Greatest love story ever told.
But the audio is so bad.
I don't like the
You
sound
can
of that.
hear the P's and everything.
The brain of a super genius transplant.
Richard Brake, gotta have him in there.
Perfect physical specimen.
I want a man that makes my blood run cold. A man that every time he enters
Sherry.
my crypt, it's like a stake.
I love the fact that Rob and his wife have such a great relationship that they will always work with each other, but she feels like she's trying to be Lily and not becoming Lily.
Go.
Okay. I'm looking for a vision, a queen, true love.
And what exactly do you want?
Is Herman Munster in there? I knew the moment I laid eyes on you.
It's so hard to recreate a character by Fred Gwynn. I understand that. The voice has taken me out of Jeff Daniel Phillips here. It's just I need some bass. I need some bass in that voice.
If there's one thing I know, is that the rest of the world melted away as soon as you appeared in my life. It seems Miss Lily is true.
I do think it's interesting to take an origin story approach, though. I was wondering why Eddie Munster wasn't in it, but it makes sense that they're doing it before all that now. I do like the guy who's playing the grandpa. I will say that. He was the parts of the trailer that I thought worked. I'm telling you, the black and white stuff looks good. Like, the cheap production works with the black and white. I swear. We'll see. We'll see. Could it be that simple? I love the house. I've always maintained the house looks great.
Greetings from Transylvania.
Oh.
That's a strange way of saying hello.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to get used to it.
Okay. Okay, so here's what doesn't work for me, and I've kind of articulated it throughout the trailer. It's easy to poke fun at Sheri Moon Zombie. Like I've said, I admire the fact that they love each other so much and they have what seems to be such an awesome marriage that they will always work with each other. Rob doesn't give any fucks if the entire world stood up and said, your wife's a terrible actress. Too fucking bad. She's my wife, I love her, and she's going to be Lily Munster. Suck it. And I kind of admire that. I really do. I admire just the entire don't give a fuck attitude that Rob Zombie has. Even if he never makes a movie that I love. I love the fact that he does not care. He's like, okay, I'm the director. I made the movie that I wanted to make. I like it. I'm proud of it. Sorry if you don't. Like, I can admire that approach. I don't think it's the healthiest approach if you want to succeed, but I can admire it. Jeff Daniel Phillips as Herman Munster. Now, that's a hard role to kind of do your own thing with because Fred Gwynne is just so iconic. But his voice is just too high for me. It just doesn't fit the look of Herman Munster. I can't exactly say why. And it's not necessarily just because Fred Gwynne's voice was deeper, but he's such a hulking character that it seems odd that he's so big and such a standout like visual, and yet his voice is just kind of like this. It doesn't fit for me. Grandpa, however, I think works really well. The two scenes that we saw with Grandpa, like, we got to get rid of this idiot Eddie, like, it just works. So I think that he might be the one character in the movie that nails the character so far. Lily, though, there's a difference between acting like the older version of Lily and becoming the old version of Lily, and I think that that's the difference you're seeing in this trailer. I had faith that maybe she could do it, even though it's an easy joke to say, like I've already said, it's easy to poke fun at the fact that he puts his wife in every movie. And I think I even made a tweet when they first announced that he was doing the Munsters, and I was like, just confirmed Sherry Moon Zombie as Lily Munster. It's an easy joke to make, but I don't think that her dialogue comes across very well. It seems like she watched an episode of the Munsters and is just trying to do that, and it feels like acting. It feels like acting. Now, a lot of things have been said about the production value on this trailer, and I 100% agree. It's shocking to find out that this movie cost $40 million to make. Rob Zombie's had to crowdfund his last two movies, if I'm not mistaken, just to get them made. I think he had 2 rounds of crowdfunding to get 31 made. And the fact that this is made by a major studio that gave him the biggest budget that he has ever worked with as his career as a director, I don't see where that money went. And I don't know if it's intentional, because that's the struggle. That's the hard part about doing what he's trying to do with the Munsters, is because he has such a love for the original sitcom that I think he's trying his best to recreate that 100%. And we're going to find out whether or not it works or not when we see the full movie, but I don't know if recreating how things looked and how things felt and how things were acted in the 60s on a sitcom is going to translate to a 2022 movie. I understand wanting to hold on to that for nostalgic purposes and for, respecting what came before, but there is something to be said about having to modernize and having to adapt something to make sense in a modern format. The best adaptations find a way to balance both. But I am curious if the fact that it's in color is highlighting all of the production and all of the low production and the cheap look of it. I'm very curious if the trailer will play any different in black and white, and maybe that cheap production actually comes through correctly in black and white. Because when you watch the segments of that little recreated opening where you got like the shutter that's moving, that's clearly just a wire, it's a very cheap production thing, but it works in black and white. So, I don't know. I could be wrong. I could watch 30 seconds of this and go, never mind, guys, I was wrong. But now we're going to watch the black and white version of the trailer and see if it plays any different. And I'm really curious. The opening's going to be exactly the same. Here we go.
Rob Zombie, the director of House of a Thousand.
Listen to the audio. The audio is weird in this trip. You can hear like they had a cheap mic. You can hear the cheap microphone.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Think of it. The brain of a super genius transplanted into the body of a perfect physical specimen.
I want a man that makes my blood run cold. A man
It
that
looks
every
better.
time he enters my crypt. It's like a stake through
Her
my
acting isn't
death.
better, but it looks better.
I can whip the upper humpy down in the land.
He's nailing it. He's nailing the
He
character.
was batty.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm looking for a vision. A passion.
That voice, man.
And what exactly do you want?
Is Herman Munster in there?
I'm telling you, it plays better in black and white. The goofiness works.
I understand if you don't feel the same. I'm just a regular gal living a boring, normal.
Am I crazy?
If there's one thing I know, is that the rest of the world melted away as soon as you appeared in my life. It seems Miss Lily's truly in love.
Oh, come on. You know and I know that we gotta get rid of that bozo Herman Munster.
Okay, I don't care if I'm the only person that, I'm not trying to say I was right just for the sake of saying that I was right, but this shit looks better in black and white. It plays better. The production value works. It looks intentionally cheap, and I get the effect when it's in black and white. When it's in color, it looks like shit. Even the house looks better.
Greetings from Transylvania.
That joke doesn't work better, though. That's bad.
That's a strange way of saying hello.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to get used to it.
Okay. Guys, I'm telling you, that's the major thing that's throwing it off for me. I don't know if it works for anybody else. I get why a major studio would not want to release this movie in black and white or even let Rob Zombie shoot it that way. I get it. It's going to be a hard sell to get people into the theaters for a Rob Zombie movie as it is, except for his fans. It's going to be a hard sell to get parents to let kids go see this when Rob Zombie's name is on it. And I still can't figure out if he's gearing it towards kids or if he's just keeping it PG just because he doesn't want to adulterate that tone of the original show. If Rob Zombie was in full control, I guarantee you he would release this in black and white. And I'm almost going to go out on a limb and say that he created sets and he kept it and shot it in a certain way in hopes that they would let him do it in black and white when they just said, no, it's got to be in color. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a joke in the movie where it was intended to be color. I don't know, but I think it works better in black and white. I think that it plays better. It keeps kind of the goofy tone, that throwback tone makes sense in black and white. I don't know. We're going to find out in the comments section if everybody thinks I'm nuts. They might be like, no, dude, it just looks shitty, but in black and white. So I don't know, but I'm still very curious to see what this movie is going to look like. I'm still very much, I'm trying to hang on to optimism here because I'm rooting for Rob. I really am. Like, as much as the fact that I don't like most of his movies, I know he's capable of having a great movie. I've said this for years. Like, he's capable, if somebody else would write his films, he's capable of delivering like one of the best horror films ever. I really think that he's capable of that as a director. And I think that this might be just so out of his wheelhouse as far as what you expect from Rob Zombie that this might gain him a bit of respect and might gain him a bit of clout if the movie's better than what the trailer shows. But I would hate for this to come out and be like, it's never going to be the end of his career, but like the final nail in him working with major studios. Because Universal gave him $40 million to make this. They had enough faith in him and enough faith in this property to try it again. And nostalgia's the thing nowadays. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the trailer works any better in black and white? Like, there's still some things about it that don't work. I think that stupid ass joke with the witch, like, that doesn't work. That's way too old school of a sound effect. Like, you got to bring it into the modern times a little bit. I still don't think that the Herman Munster voice is going to work for me, and I still don't think, despite the fact that I respect it, I still don't think that Sherry Moon Zombie is the right pick for Lily. Grandpa I love, though. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this trailer or this movie would work better in black and white? Or do you think that it's just the color has absolutely nothing to do with it and it doesn't change anything? I'm morbidly curious. So Let me know down below, guys, what do you think about this trailer? Are you somebody that actually loves the original color trailer and you don't know what everybody is up in their arms about? Are you on the end, like I think I heard John Campea say that this is the worst trailer that's ever been released by a major studio? Are you on that end of disappointment and hate for it? Where do you fall, and what do you think about the trailer in black and white? Let me know down below and we can talk about it. But that's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed this, please click over here for a playlist of my Rob Zombie reviews, and I'm also going to put my most recent horror tier list here. If you're a horror fan, which you should be if you're on this channel, please like and share this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything in the future, including my eventual review of this film. And as always, remember, opinions are like assholes, but that doesn't mean that you have to be.